Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Rabbit Hole Roundtable Talks, the show where we deep dive into our topic of choice for about 2 hours or so. Today, we're going to talk about beauty, what it means to us, and play a couple games and watch some videos about beauty. As usual, I'm joined by my co host, MK. What's up?
Going on? Oh yeah. So I'm supposed to be trying to talk in an American accent from now on, bro. So I'm trying to make it more clear what I'm saying. That's all. But
All
yo,
right.
today's gonna be a good day. We're gonna be looking at some beautiful black women. As you can see in my image, you have a rainbow of black women right here.
I had some stuff to say. It's a very hot take, but I'll say it when it's the time to say it because
Oh no.
uh,
Oh
I
no.
mean, you know it is. You know it is. Okay,
Okay.
so to begin, we're gonna define beauty and also define celebrity. I guess we'll do the general terms because I really don't know what a celebrity is. Because when we were talking behind the scenes, well, you mentioned somebody on YouTube. I'm like, oh, they're a celebrity. You're like, no, they're not a celebrity. I'm like, oh, I don't know what a celebrity is. So why don't you go first?
I think you was right back then actually. I think I was wrong. So I when I sat down and actually thought about what a celebrity is, I was thinking anybody who is famous, basically.
Mhm.
So I think back then what I was thinking was people on YouTube aren't celebrities in terms of mainstream media. I think that's what I was thinking. But they are celebrities in terms of like a lot of people know who they are. So they
Gotcha.
are famous. So yeah.
So I went and actually looked it up. So celebrity is a state of being well known. And I think that's where the trouble comes in because you have to define what's well known.
Yeah.
So a well known person or thing is known a lot about by a lot of people and therefore famous or familiar. If someone is well known for a particular activity, a lot of people know about them because of their involvement in the activity. So I guess a YouTuber can be someone that's a celebrity. But to go even deeper, they're known as influencers. That's the term that we use now. So I was like, okay, what's an influencer? So I have two different sites. One says that it starts from 6,000 followers to 10,000, and one says from 10,000 to 50,000. So I'm gonna combine them and say between 6,000 to 50,000 followers, you're a micro influencer. You're beginning to get there, and then anything beyond that into the millions, you're definitely an influencer.
So would you say being an influencer and a celebrity are the same thing?
Yeah,
Because I
because
always thought the influencer was just someone who people go to when they wanted ideas for like how to dress or maybe I want to cook tonight. Like I thought that's what influencer. I guess what I thought influencer was is someone who basically sells ads,
mm,
which I guess every celebrity can do too.
yeah.
But I think like an influencer, they specifically market themselves for that, whereas a celebrity is more like, well, I want to be a singer or an actor or whatever else. They're not specifically targeting like I want to be sellable.
Maybe an influencer is a specific niche in being a celebrity, where you instead of being an actor, you're I don't know, selling products. And also it's like a subsection of being a celebrity. I think that would be a better fit.
Yeah, because I see a lot of IG models like saying they are influencers,
Mm.
and that's a whole other subsection. Like now you could become a model on your own. Just go on IG, Instagram, and boom, I'm an IG model now.
Well, you have to get your traction first. You can't just say it. Once you get to that 10,000 followers, then you could say, you're an IG model.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought you could just claim it. Like I could just go. I could just start dressing well, shave,
Yeah.
pluck my eyebrows, go on Instagram and be like, "Hey, I'm an IG model now. Like, yo, come look at me."
I mean, you can always sell yourself as one in the beginning, and then people will go to look at you, follow you, and then you could build your thing from there. But I think to say that, you need to actually have that quality. What's the pictures on? All right, cool.
So
Okay,
do you think as a qualifier, like who is the most famous person alive, like something like that?
I think I'm sure we could look it up and find something about it. I think that would be like the most well known person. But then again, there's so many well known people. It's hard to figure out who is like the top, most well known person. Well, I'm sure it may exist on some graph or some ranking post somewhere. So now, before we can start the episode as well, we have to define what beauty is, I guess, in the general term.
All right. So I guess I'll go first. So beauty is hard for me to define because I feel like there's the conventional beauty and then there's what I consider beautiful, you know? So like I think conventional beauty are like features in your face or features of your body. I heard someone once say the world doesn't actually have a problem with people being fat.
Mm,
They have a problem with people being fat in the wrong places.
mm,
And I think that's true. Like if you have a woman with an hourglass shape, like you don't care if she's 300 pounds, but if you have a woman who looks like an apple and she's 300 pounds, you're like gross. Well, most people. And same for men. Like if you have a man who is fat, like 300 pounds, but he just looked like blubber, then you're like gross. But if he looks like a football player, then you're like, okay, this guy looking good.
mm.
So I think it really depends
Yeah.
in terms of weight. But in terms of looks, I think often we go to the European Eurocentric uh, what's the word
Yeah.
rating.
Mm,
But I don't go to that because I grew up in an island where everyone is black, so I never got indoctrinated into that kind of thinking where I think white features are more pretty. Um, Although there was some colorism, I didn't experience that myself. I actually prefer darker skinned women.
mhm.
Actually, I like the extremes, like darker skin or really, really light skin. I don't really like the middle,
Yeah.
but I don't prefer the middle. Although my wife is in the middle, so I guess I do prefer it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think beauty is kind of hard to define. I look at the definition on the internet, and it was saying that basically beauty is looking appealing. It
Yeah.
was a very simple definition.
Mhm.
But I think my definition is the overall, all the major characteristics of a person, including their personality, their morals, their appearance, and how they keep themselves. I think all those characteristics make me decide if a person is beautiful. So it's not just about how they look, it's also about their personality and other things that factor in.
Gotcha. Gotcha. My goal this podcast is to look more into the camera, but I'm also the producer, so I gotta look and make sure we look good at the same time. So if you see me looking away, I'm just trying to adjust our camera so that Mino is looking nice and handsome over there with his ladies. All right. Now we continue. It's hard to be a producer and be part of the show, man. Anyways,
I feel that.
beauty to me was also hard to define because if I look at my track record of who I was attracted to, they were all beautiful in their own way, and it wasn't just outward beauty. And I got a lot of heat for dating certain girls because people would be like, "Why you date everybody?" I'm just like, "Ouch, ouch for me and ouch for them." Like, yeah, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. But what Merriam-Webster has is that inner and outer beauty stimulates the mind in some way, and I think that's the most appealing definition to me because when you look at somebody, your senses, your eye, your sight is being appealed to. When you talk to somebody, then that stimulates your mind as well. Their voice can stimulate your mind as well. Like, so I think beauty is hard to narrow it down to what exactly it is, but everybody has their own standard for beauty. And I feel like that's where we should be and let everybody do it on their own terms. But also have like I guess a standard of beauty, but not necessarily one that segregates. which will come later down in the show. We have to talk about that. You already brought up Eurocentric. There's Afrocentric, which we're going to talk about because we're from that background and we found some stuff while doing research for the show. And yeah. So part two of that question. Oh, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Oh, part two of that question you kind of answered was what makes someone attractive to us. So now I'll answer it. Initially, when I see somebody and I look at their face, if they have a very appealing face, I'm gonna want to talk to them. If they have like a certain physique, I'm gonna want to talk to them. You know, Left Side. If you know from the Caribbean and you know who Left Side is, he made a song that is me. That's my song. There. I'm not gonna say what the song says. Go dig for yourself.
You may have to post it in Discord for me because I want to hear it right now.
I already shared it. I already shared with you.
Oh, okay.
It's the I Am Blessed remix. You know. Yeah, but then after that, when I'm talking to somebody, what they're saying, how they're saying it, and their volume is also factors that can change attraction or make them be attractive to me. And after that, it's just as it comes.
Right. So you mentioned something that I have a story about, basically, where you date a girl who is not traditionally attractive, and people like basically try and judge you for it.
Uh-huh.
It didn't happen to me, but it happened to a friend of mine in high school. So I don't know if she was not attractive, but she had a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
So when he started dating her, everybody was just clowning him, like, dude, how you could date that girl, and you know about her past and all kind of stuff they were telling him. And I guess it's not really related to beauty because really and truly it was more based on her reputation more than her looks.
Mm-hmm.
But just like how society does that is like they clown people for dating someone. It's like they want to make that person into an outcast in a way. And I think like a lot of people already struggle with feeling like having self-esteem and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially women, I feel. A lot of women I feel struggle with self-esteem because the world pretty much puts almost all their value in how they look. And so, you look at magazines and stuff, you see all these MAGA women. By the way, for the audience, MAGA and my island mean super skinny. Like you look too skinny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you have all these MAGA women in the covers of these magazines, and then you have girls with normal, healthy body types and body weights trying to look like them. I don't know if that happens with black women that often because we don't have much representation. But I know for other races, maybe mostly white, they have issues like anorexia and bulimia and stuff where they try and throw up so they could lose weight and stuff. And I think part of it is because of these like weird standards for beauty that we propagate.
One of the weird things about, not weird, but interesting things about this podcast is that there's never enough research you can do because now you brought up a whole different topic we could dive into that we didn't prepare for, which is like body standards and how you look at yourself. I'm sure there's tons of data about it, but I've known people that have had those kind of issues where they want to look skinny, but to me, they're perfectly fine. But they just can't shake that notion that I need to be skinny, I need to look this way, my hair gotta be like this, And you said we have no representation, but we do. It's just not from us. So we try and replicate what we see, even though it's not us. We want to be like that, and I found some stuff about that as well. And I just want to say I love this podcast. That's all I want to say. I'm the biggest fan here.
Well, thank you. We love you too, man. We love you too, bro. All right, so we'll take our first. I'm just kidding. So in terms of beauty, do you think that it's regional, or do you think like it's a global thing now because of the advent of the internet and social media? Do you think like beauty is becoming more and more like, I don't want to say standardized, but more leaning towards a direction Whereas before the internet and stuff like that, each place had their own local like standards.
Mhm.
What do you think about that?
I do feel like there's a bigger reach now for the standard what you should look like. Because now you can just open your phone, you're on Instagram, and then what you see is the most popular thing. So you're gonna think, well, maybe I should look like this as well. And I'm glad we talked about this. This is probably another episode coming up about these issues that we have in our society based on just all the pressures I would call them from outside. So to answer your question, yes, I feel like it's more worldwide, but in the wrong direction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
So I want to say like I feel like the worldwide reach is a good thing, but I feel like it should be like I'm let's say I'm African American, which I'm not. But if I'm African American, now that I have access to Instagram and Facebook or whatever, I should go look for somebody from Africa to build my standards based off of because now I can actually see them more often. But that's not what happens. And we talked about this the last time. Like it's hard to see yourself when you open your phone.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I was mentioning representation before, because we do have access to it, but it's not what's being pushed.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're actively looking for it, you're probably not going to just come across it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem. Well, that's a problem. But I wanted to actually talk about what I found attractive. So I kind of delved into it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I actually wrote down some stuff here. So mostly I was thinking about like what draws me into a person. Like if I was to just be walking by and I saw a, a woman on the street, what would I what would make me be like, yo, I have to go talk to her, or yo, I have to remember her face so next time I see her in the grocery store I could talk to her, or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I really like I like eyes the most. uh, I would say maybe 90% of the people I dated have the same exact shape eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I like almond shaped eyes, basically. Uh, and I think like I already mentioned like skin tone. I prefer like the two extremes, like really
Mm-hmm.
light skin or really dark skin. But I also have the same like views about weight. I don't really like women who are too skinny or too fat either,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of, I think most people probably think the same. Like, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about women who are too fat or too thin?
Based on my experience, I don't think I have that much of a preference. I just like people. So basically, I like everybody from the beginning. So saying that about me back in the day in high school, college, I like everybody. Yeah, I do. I like everybody as a person. And then as I get to know these people, more things jump out that I like about them. Things that you might not be able to see yourself because you're on the outside looking in. You don't know what we talked about. You don't know how we interacted. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think personality plays a big factor. Unless like you're super shallow. Like I know people who like they don't care about your personality as long as you look good. They want you.
Yeah.
But I think personality plays a big factor. And I think additionally for me, especially nowadays that I'm older, how well she communicates and how she communicates. That's a big one for me. Like even just for friendships, if I have a friend, I'm making a new friend,
Mm-hmm.
guy, girl, trans, non-trans, whatever. If your communication skills are poor, I'm just like, never mind. I can't have a relationship with this person because I don't want to have to feel like they yelling at me or, they can't control their what's comes out of their mouth. So
That's true. Communication is a big, big deal. And I feel like we're on the same boat where we need somebody that can communicate with us. And not just like, well, this goes for like friendships, relationships. They're just about the same. It's not like, hey, how you doing? Good. Okay, how about you? Good. Like that sucks. And that's like 90% of the stuff that happens on my phone. Like I want to ask
bruh,
a
bruh.
I want
We
you
need
to
to have a
ask
full podcast about texting.
we can. We can.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I want you
Let
to
me just say this.
ask me what my favorite color is. I'll tell you what it is. You ask me why. I tell you how much stuff I have. And it's like I want to be able to have like the whole screen of the text message is just one message from each of us. Like that's what I want to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, I don't want to like go in a woman, right? But women are notoriously bad at texting. And it's weird because they like to text a lot more than men, I feel. I might be wrong. But dude, how are you gonna text somebody a full paragraph and then they just reply with like 2 words?
Yeah.
It's like, bruh, come, are we having a conversation or not? Like, what's going on?
But I do know guys that have done that to women as well. They don't want to text back. They take hours to text back. It's like it sucks because that paints an image that's a general image for that person. Like no one's gonna text me, no guy's gonna text me, or no girl's gonna text me. When it's just this one person just sucks at it.
On the other hand, though, maybe texting isn't the move and you should just give people a phone call because really and truly, like, I find that people who suck at texting don't usually suck also at phone calls.
Mm.
I mean, it depends though, of course. Like some people are just not good at conversations. And then you have some people who could just talk your ear off. You don't have to say nothing. And they just will talk for the full like 3 hours of you on the phone with
Wives.
them. Not only wives, but I have a friend
Mm.
who you know about. I recently started talking to. Well, I was talking to, and dude, this girl could just talk, man, and I'm like, bruh, this is just like my wife. Like, is this a common thing or what? Like, I don't have to say nothing. I can just be there. Like,
Yeah.
I could literally just put the phone on mute, walk away, cut the grass, hit the house,
Oh
come
gosh.
back, make sure she's still talking, say, okay, yeah, quick back on mute, go make myself a sandwich.
I know lots of friends like that. I don't know, but it helps me because sometimes I just don't want to talk. I was here to listen.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not very good at conversation. Like, unless it's like about a specific topic, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
If I just have to like do small talk, I am not good at small talk at all. So that's why I married somebody who talks a lot because it's like, yo, I need somebody who's going to talk without me having to participate much because if we have to do small talk, I'm not gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the one there like I'm gonna be just like when I talking to a beautiful woman that I met for the first time, like, hey, okay, uh-huh, okay, well, oh, how is the weather? Like I'll just think of
Oh
like it's just
gosh.
ridiculous.
I think we found some pins for future podcasts.
All right. Well, let's go into the meat of this podcast today, man. Let's go into the meat.
All right, go.
So let's go into our top 6 celebrities.
All
So
right.
when I was picking my celebrities, I based it on beauty, but also based on other characteristics besides beauty that really makes me like them. So I'm gonna let you go first because usually you make me go first.
All right. Right now I'm having the transition screen up. Nobody be scared. Nobody be scared. This one. So I'm going first, you sir.
Hold on. On Twitch, it says BRB on the screen. Am I seeing the wrong thing here?
Nope. I'm I'm having the transition screen up so we can get started.
Ah, you see, I don't know. See, that's producer stuff. I don't
You
know
see,
that.
you talked about well, they can't see us right now, but when they come back on the screen. Transition here, and here we are. So you talked about us having production value. I'm just trying to bring that, man. I'm just trying to bring it.
Hey, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
All right, so now we have a triple screen here. We have the prompter, I guess you call it. And you have me, good to go. So my list is, I don't know. As I said, I don't know how to define beauty exactly what I want it to be. So I just thought about the people I actually know that I like for sure. So my top 6 includes Jennifer Aniston, you know her from Friends. She was really great in Horrible Bosses. She's done other things as well that have been great. But when I watch her interviews, it's like a really funny, down to earth person, and like I really appreciate that about her. And I don't know, it's just I just like her. I don't have them ranked though. That's the only thing. I also have 6 that I like. So this is
Yeah, neither me.
Haley
Mine
Marie
aren't ranked
Norman.
either.
She was case 25 on Deal or No Deal. That's it. Like that's it. That's all I know. She's been in other movies as well. She's also a model. But every night we watched Deal or No Deal, and I was just looking for case 25 every night. Alicia Keys. You know her for singing, acting? I don't know. But I just like her singing. It's very beautiful, and it makes her beautiful to me. And she also took a stance recently to stop wearing makeup. And I believe that was a great thing for women and young women as well, to show that you don't need makeup to be beautiful. Just be yourself. Taraji Henson. Just very, very attractive. Also very funny. That's it. Tisha Campbell, you know her from Martin, and also Baby Boy, maybe. But she was on My Wife and Kids, and she epitomized what I wanted my wife to be when I got married. And I think I have somebody that's close to her in like being funny, being supportive, and just keeping the house together. So that's my 6, I think. Oh no, Angela Bassett. Sorry, she doesn't age, and she's very good at what she does.
All right. I dig it. I dig it. All right, my turn.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom. You gotta zoom in on this one.
Ugly
You gotta zoom
Pixel.
in on the queen. You
Oh,
feel me?
okay.
Chloe Bailey. Wait, let me say the full name.
Oh,
Chloe Elizabeth Bailey.
oh my
Feel me?
gosh.
I would say at first, when I first saw her and her sister, which I have both of them on my list, I was like, okay, these guys cool. They're nice and grownish, which that's where I saw them. But then I heard them singing, and I was like, what? Multi-talented, bruh. I mean, I would say this too. Like, she posts a lot on Instagram and stuff, and let's just say there's a song, what they call body yaddy yaddy yaddy. Yo, like, let me just stop though because my wife gonna punch me in the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, next person, Halle Bailey. Let me say the full name, Halle Lynn Bailey. So same as her sister. I think for both of them though, I want to see them do like their own solo performances because I feel like they both have unique voices. As far as I can tell, she's like the soprano, and her sister is the alto, which means like she sings a higher key than her sister. And so far, I feel like she's been kind of like a background singer for her sister. Personally, that's how I feel. So I would like to see her do her own thing one day. But I do know that she could play multiple instruments too, like guitar and stuff. So that's cool.
Did you send me a video of the first sister making her own song by herself?
Yeah, she already did do it. Yeah.
So,
but I think it's because right now Halle is filming Little Mermaid. So, they gotta keep the ball rolling. They have contracts and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we have Rihanna. Dude, Rihanna is the biggest surprise to me. Like when Rihanna first came out, I thought she was gonna try and be like a sex symbol. I thought she was gonna just like I'm a bad a beautiful, sexy girl who don't mind, like who feels comfortable in my body and with my, my sexuality and stuff.
Yeah.
But now she's evolved into like a businesswoman, like entrepreneur. Like she's doing a lot of stuff right now, and to me, that's beautiful right there. Like I love seeing like she even have her own brand named after herself.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, her full name is Robin Rihanna Fenty. Like, bro, Fenty. Like every black woman I know right now talking about how much they love her makeup because they actually have their skin tone and stuff like that.
Mm,
Because before, I think makeups weren't having like the correct skin tone for black women. Again, back to the Afrocentric versus Eurocentric stuff.
mhm.
But yeah, a lot of respect for Rihanna just because of that. Moving on. Then you have Octavia E. Butler. This is my favorite writer of all time. That's why I have to have her on my list. You know, she's a black woman. She writes about science fiction. She writes science fiction, but in her writing, you could see some activism as well.
Mhm.
She grew up in a time when Black Panthers were around. I think they were even on her campus. Like a lot of activist groups were on her campus and stuff. Um, and you could see it in her writing, like some of the stuff that she writes. And it's also in her writing, you could tell that it's black characters that she's writing about. And I don't often see that when I read stuff. I always read things. I'm like trying my best to imagine a black person, but then because it describes a white person, I could only imagine a white person.
I
But with
understand.
her, I could actually imagine black people doing
Mm,
stuff.
gotcha.
And then you have Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston is not my last person. Okay, Whitney Houston, best singer of all time to me. She has such dynamic range. I think she was an alto personally, but I think what I really like about her music is that I think it feels like she had actual training in music because you could hear different stuff. Like you could hear crescendos, you could hear her doing like anything you could think of with music. Like if you ever played an instrument, you would kind of know what I'm talking about. You could hear her doing it with her voice, and I don't hear that anymore
Mm.
when I listen to people sing. It's like they just singing to like make you dance, but she was actually singing to sing. Like her voice was an instrument. So I really love Whitney Houston. She's like my favorite person of all time. And if we were the same age, man, I might have been married to her instead. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have been married to her instead. Wife, I just joking. So anyway, then we have Lupita. I didn't really know much about her, so I had to look up her on Wikipedia. Because I mean, I really only know her from like Us and from Black Panther. But she has a very crazy career. Like she has acted in Africa, I think, and she's been like in Broadway. Um, what else I have? I have some notes here. Oh yeah, and then she's also been in some active. She's actually been doing some activism as well. So yeah, like that's what I like to see. Like I feel like black women are almost always like at the forefront of like trying to protect others. So like to me, she just embodies that. Like she has a crazy career and beautiful. Like all these women on my list are beautiful. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have to say.
I feel like we shouldn't besmirch, that's the right word, what we just did with what we plan to do, if that makes sense.
I kind of agree. I agree.
All right, good. So tell your wife, to thank me. So
I
what
mean,
we
also too is like we just talk all this good stuff about these women,
exactly, yeah,
and then
exactly.
we're going to do that. Like that's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
disrespectful.
But we can't
But yeah,
segue from here to the other topic though. But what we can do is if you had to pick one to actually, I guess, marry, who would it be?
Whitney Houston, hands down.
So that's looking okay.
I don't know why, but Whitney Houston. Every time when I was growing up, hearing her sing and like seeing her acting in movies and stuff,
Mhm.
I was always like, she seems like such a nice person. Like she seems like she has like a good heart. I
Mhm.
don't know. Something about her just seems very like whitefish. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to describe it, but something about her, like just I
Wifey
don't really know
material.
her as a yeah, like I don't know her as a person.
Mhm.
Maybe she was different behind the scenes, but what she presented to the world just seemed like man, she deserves like respect and like you to treat her well. Like she's not a woman who you can just be dogging like that.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard for me to pick mine. I know it wouldn't be Jennifer Aniston for sure, or Haley. So I have like four to choose from. And I think it would have to be Alicia Keys because I like singers and I like the fact that she's taken a step from what society wants her to be. Because she took a lot of heat for not wearing makeup to an award show. I'm like, what does it matter? This is like one of the most famous people that you could run into, and you're gonna be on her case about her makeup. Like, come on now. So I feel like that and the singing and just the way she holds herself, I think that would make her, you know, the candidate. But if Tisha Marie Campbell is exactly the way that she was on the show, then she would be number one.
Yeah, I dig that. I think also another question I had was, or something I was thinking about last night is, if you could actually meet one of your people on your list and have a sit down date with them. And when I say date, I don't mean like dating like you trying to be in a relationship, but just dating like they invited you out to just like chill and talk. You know, like which one would it be? And when I say chill and talk, I mean like just shooting the breeze,
Just like
basically.
a lunch date, basically.
Yeah, like you just shooting the breeze, getting to know them,
Uh,
like seeing who they are in real life as an actual human being and not as a star. Which one would who would you pick?
I think I'll pick Taraji because I watched some interviews with her and she's really down to earth and like extremely funny, extremely sarcastic, extremely witty. And I think that would be what I would like in a conversation. So I think that's what I'll gravitate towards her just for those um points.
Okay. I
What
kind
about
of
you?
split.
Mm,
Like Maya, not Maya Angelou. Although Maya Angelou should make my list too, but Octavia E. Butler, I was kind of split between her and Rihanna.
mm,
So Octavia, I feel like in person she would give me like a Maya Angelou vibe.
yeah.
You know, like that very like thoughtful, well-spoken black woman.
Mhm.
And I feel like it would be nice to have some conversations with her about like the black experience and stuff like that, like the kind of topics that I interested in talking about.
Yep, yep, yep.
But then with Rihanna, I actually want to see how she is as an actual human being, uh, like what kind of things she's interested in. You know, what does she do when she's not like on screen trying to like, or even when she's doing her business, how does she come up with her ideas for her business or whatever? Like I want to see how she is as a person.
Mm.
I think she would be a good time, to be honest. Like if she is white. Well, I don't drink anymore, but if I used to still drink, I think she would be a good time if we like went to a club or something and actually like party. So,
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So next on the docket, we gonna like this was hard for me to do because we had to find a list of the 20 to 25 hottest people in the world for men and for women. I know we've been talking about women a lot for the show, but that's just because we're guys and that's what we're interested in talking about. But men are here, so I guess we'll start with the men and break it
oh,
down.
before we move on,
Yes.
uh, if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and also comment below who is your top six celebrity, artist, or just person that you think is very creative or very interesting.
And if you're on Twitch, leave a message. A message? Comment? I don't know what it's called.
Leave a comment. If you're on Twitch, just say something in chat. We do
Yeah.
read the chat, but we stream it to like 2 viewers right now. So I'm saying like that's wild. Word.
Or all right. The 20 hottest men in the world is 5 minutes long. That's good.
Okay, I would say in
Loki.
Loki, the TV series, he did look good in his suit, his pinup and stuff.
He was supposed to be Thor as well.
I don't know about that one. But okay.
I don't know, but it's what it is.
I'll give them this one.
Definitely. Have to give him that one too.
I'll give him this one. He's like the standard good-looking white guy look.
Yeah.
That's probably why they pick him for Thor. This is a guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he has a smoldering hotness to him.
Ah, okay. I didn't see it at first.
Maybe.
I think when he was younger, he looked better. He looking kind of old.
Yeah. You can't avoid that though.
Only if he black. Same.
Or if you own the Fountain of Youth, like, come on, man, just get old already.
Scientology for the win.
Oh my god.
I would say yeah for him.
Yeah, definitely.
I also like most of the movies that he acted into. Yeah, I don't know about this one.
I don't know what it is either. Top 10, baby.
All right, they better come with it because this is top 10.
All right, top 9, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Just skip next. Top 9. Let's go. Come on.
All right, good.
Okay, body yaddy. All right, I feel it. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like some people that they had earlier in the list should have been.
I was
here.
thinking the same thing. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I liked it in the Hangover though, for sure.
I don't even know who this is.
These subjective lists, man.
Yeah, like what? What are they talking about? And why there's no black men on this list?
Your wish has been granted. Look, it's
Okay,
you. It's you.
Okay. But this one is a top 2. What are they talking about, though?
Oh man, word.
Where? Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, no. I would say no. Pass. Hard pass. Smash a pass? Neither.
Oh
just,
my gosh.
just get rid of him.
How? Like,
So, wait, how old is this guy?
I don't
13?
know.
Why is he on the list? Okay, top 2. They have to pull through the top 2. They have to. Okay. Oh wait, actually, I think he looked nice.
I don't know who that is.
Press pause real quick. There's a new show coming on. I think it's called The Eternals. I think he's acting in it. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Tom Holland was born in 1996, so that's 25.
Dude, he 25?
Spider-Man is 25. No, man,
He looks so young.
he is 25.
What? No, he got a fountain of youth in his background.
This has been a thing though in like Hollywood where adults are acting as teenagers in TV shows and you would never know. Like, he's 25. That's wild.
Yo, he gonna look young for a long time.
He was in Spider. You know what? Okay, that's good. Number one. No.
Okay, uninstalled, man. Uninstall this
Uninstall
whole list,
YouTube.
bruh.
It's just it's wild. And if we
They
go to
put one black man and one Indian man. Like, are you serious?
but the thing is, if we go through the women, it'll be exactly the same thing. So I don't think it makes sense to go through this one.
And one Asian dude who looked like a woman. What the heck?
So
Well,
I,
to me, he looked like a woman.
I don't think we should go through this list because it's gonna be the same thing. And the reason why we have these lists is because we didn't want to be again segregating between this versus that. We wanted to do the whole global scale. But it's hard to do that because this is supposed to be the list of people in the world that are the hottest, and it's very one-sided, you know. So we have to kind of search for what we want to look for. So I think I don't know. What do you think we should do?
I think the only way to actually do a list would be to like search by ethnicity, like
Yeah,
black
I was trying to avoid that
25,
because
Asian 25,
yeah, exactly.
Indian 25,
Which
Russian 25. But
yeah,
I just would lump all the whites together.
yeah,
No race, no racism. But
yeah,
I would just lump them all together because yeah, they're all European. So I would lump almost all the Asians together. But I feel like Asians look uniquely different enough. Like for instance, Korean and like I don't know, Japanese, they don't look the same to me. Although I know most people will be like, they look the same. They don't look the same to me. So like I would have to lump the different Asian groups into separate ones and
yeah.
then search for each ethnicity individually and then make a top 25 list off of that. But I don't think they do that.
They don't have a list of like the most beautiful black women, do they? Because now I'm looking at top 25 black women. They have richest and the most beautiful celebrities. That's not what I want. Oh well. I guess this can help us segue into our next topic, if that's okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Afrocentric versus Eurocentric bodies, beauty standards. So, what did you find about either or that you want to share?
I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I did not even know where to start for researching this. I was like, what do I look up? Because any opinion I find online
Hmm.
is gonna be biased towards Eurocentric, more than likely. Unless it's like literally written from a person from a country, um, like a black, predominantly black, majority black country, it's
Hmm.
probably gonna be biased. And even then, they might still be biased because of like programming and media and stuff impacting their views.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I had a hard time finding stuff. So I just decided to just wing it or
Okay.
just go with whatever you found
Mm.
and give my 2 cents.
Okay. So, I have basically, again, I have like textbook stuff that I found that like got to my eyes. So, Eurocentrism is defined by a viewpoint where European culture is looked upon favorably and biased against non Western civilizations. Western beauty ideals include being thin and tall, having long hair, having light tanned skin, having big breasts, large eyes, a small nose, and high cheekbones. So, in other stuff I read, even in places like Africa, they were conforming to Eurocentric standards of beauty by straightening their hair, buying store-bought hair, becoming thin, and changing their skin tone to that of light or medium.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That's what we're used to. That's the world we live in. No comment.
I, I don't. I just want to know, like, well, why? Like, why them? You know, and it could just be the way history played out.
I
You know,
think that exactly why is like,
yeah.
because I feel like black people, when we were in Africa or other places, wherever we we had our wars, but we weren't like interested in conquering the world and stuff like that. Whereas white people were like, I want to take everything. Everything is mine.
Hmm.
Granted, I think somebody said something that I think might be true. It
Hmm.
was on TikTok. They were saying that um, Anglo people with Anglo history, they came from a world of scarcity.
Mm,
So everything that they got, they had to like basically take from someone else.
gotcha.
Whereas people of color, black people, we came from places with abundance, like
Mm,
a lot of resources, basically. So we never felt a need to like go and take from other people. I mean,
okay.
we had our little like internal squabbles, like territories, like squabbles, but we never had to feel like we had to take from other people to survive.
Mm,
And so I think that that mentality of we need to survive by taking from other people is what kind of grew into let's conquer the world and let's dominate everybody else.
mm. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. But then there are people who are just greedy as well. That just wanting more for themselves. And then you could also marry into it and get more and then spread whatever you want to spread that way as well. And that's more on the male dominated side than just the race side. So that also plays a factor as well.
Yeah, I also kind of want to read into like cultural societal norms. Like for instance, in Black cultures, I wonder if it was more community based.
Oh,
So it's like we want to be a community, look out for each other. It's more like everybody looking out for everybody else. And I
mm,
wonder if in white cultures, if it was more like everyone for themselves. And the richer you are, the more value you have. So you should just worry about yourself and not worry about people who are poor. Like I wonder if that's a true thing or if that's just something that I feel happened.
I have the same feeling like the village raises the child. I feel like that's more like an African thing where you have like a village and that's there's no households. There's a households, but that's not the end all. It goes to the village, and the village takes care of everybody within that village. And I think that that was making us lean towards thinking that maybe it's more of a bigger family than just the family that's in your house. That's just how I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. I wonder if anybody in chat have something to say about this or anybody in the comments have something to say about this because I really feel like even if you look at how much black people love church, it's
Mm,
because of that sense of community. I feel like we're a very community driven people. Like we
yeah,
want to build relationships and bonds.
yeah.
And I don't know if that's the same. I feel like humans in general have that feeling like naturally
Mm,
because we are social creatures. But I feel like we actually lean into it. Whereas I feel I don't want to keep like making this a black versus white thing though. But I feel like most like even Asian cultures are very family oriented, very community oriented. But I don't get a vibe from European countries. Like I don't ever like hear of like, oh, I live with my family. Like me, my uncles, my aunt. Well, that's not good enough. I still live with my mom because I want to help take care of the house and help her around the
mm,
house. Like I
yeah.
don't hear that from like white families.
Mm,
You know, like even now, like with us talking about black people adopting Eurocentric beliefs and behaviors,
yeah.
is like no, and I feel like we take the bad um, things from them. Like for instance, kicking our kids out at 18 is like where we got that from.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's American culture, like kick your kid out at 18. But why would you do that? Like it's better if your kids stay home. If they even contribute to the house, you guys could probably buy a house and grow your generational wealth that way instead of kicking them out and having them spend money somewhere else.
I think there's
So I
pros
don't
and
know.
cons to that though, because it goes from being just about that family to that person. Because that person might need to be kicked out to actually grow up and be able to fend for themselves and be productive. And I feel like that's I won't say extreme case, but there's cases like that where you need to be on your own to know how to make do for yourself and people around you. And I feel like you can probably notice that if you are at home and you have a job, then you could probably stay. But if you're at home and you're just sitting around not doing anything, just playing video games all day and not making money from it, like you're not streaming, you're not making videos, you're just playing games, then you probably need to have more of like a wake up reality check, like, hey, there's more to life than just this. You need to be able to provide and be a provider.
Yeah, I think of course is also case by case. Like some people need that like learn from experience thing, and some people are fine. Like they have a plan, and maybe part of the plan is to stay home and just
Mm-hmm.
stack their money
Mm-hmm.
before they move out.
Definitely.
And I feel like as a parent, of course, you want to help your child be the best they can be. Which is another thing I want to talk about generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really dislike when people are like, I want my kid to struggle just like me. It's like, well, what's the point of growing generational wealth then if they're gonna still have to struggle?
Yeah.
Like the point of generational wealth is to make life easier and easier for future generations
Mm-hmm.
so they don't have to struggle and they could just pursue their actual dream. I mean, I do understand the struggle thing though. You want your child to want to do it on their own
Yeah.
instead of live off of you. But you should allow them to, I feel personally like you should allow them to make that decision, not force it on them. Because then what's the point of having generational wealth?
Yeah. I agree with what you say. I feel like it's case by case, and you should be able to tell if you need to instill that tough love into them or not, based on your own judgment and based on, I guess, what people tell you, what your family tells you, what your friends tell you about them. Like, if you're hearing comments like, "Is he gonna get a job soon?" and you're that every day, every month, every year, then you should be able to think, well, maybe he should get a job and actually do something and balance his life because we're helping him out so he doesn't have to pay rent or anything like that. But he's also, let's say, gambling all the time, wasting the money that he is making. So it's like you have to know when to step in.
Yeah. I think if I was a parent, what I would do if I saw my child um, not really progressing in life, I would sit down with them and say, hey, let's come up with a plan together.
Hmm.
Let's sit down, let's actually plan out your life. You don't have to stick to the plan, but maybe you could use it as a kind of a guideline of what to do next, you know? And I
Hmm.
would also like make them show me that they're putting in effort. Like, okay,
Hmm.
once a week, show me how many jobs you apply to, or show me how many businesses you try to start, or show me what thoughts you've been having in terms of making money if you want to be self-employed or if you want to work for someone else. Like, tell me
Yeah.
what you like once a week. Let's just sit down and just bang it out. I'll be in your corner, giving that positive reinforcement, even if you fail. But you have to be doing something, at least trying. You don't have to succeed, but you
Hmm.
have to try.
Yeah. One note, we have Bro Nancy in the chat. Welcome back. Watching and enjoying in St. Croix. Thank you. Uh, what I,
Word.
what I wanted to add is that we both made points towards like not necessarily having a conventional job, but doing something that's productive. So I was told that, you know, ambition is something that you don't really recognize in people because you want to see certain things happen. But, you know, streaming is a career that you can start. It's not necessarily a conventional career, but it's a career that it can bring in money. Not probably a lot in the beginning, but eventually it's something that you're doing something. You're putting time, effort into something, and you're creating something on your own. And I feel like that's a very big deal. And even if you don't have a job, but you're applying to jobs every day and the jobs you're applying for are, you know, good jobs, I feel like that's also taking a step in the right direction.
So Bernancy said as a parent, if if you're never taught or to learn on your own, I think that's what he's trying to say. If you're never taught to learn on your own, it may take years before you get there.
Mm.
Am I reading that right, or is that misunderstanding?
Never thought not to learn wanting to years. I think they're saying that you should probably do the tough love to avoid it taking forever for them to be able to get there. Which it makes sense based on the child or based on the person.
Yeah, I think it is individual. Because I will say this: when I was growing up, I knew that I had to do certain things, But the big problem for me is if I don't understand why,
Mm,
I don't have any motivation to do it.
yeah.
So, like, for instance, I need to keep track of all my accomplishments to put on my resume. I don't know why. So why would I do it? Like, I prefer to play video games. I know
Yeah.
why I want to do that because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that that's the next thing I think I'm gonna do with my kids. I'm gonna over explain. I already do it naturally anyway. Over explain things,
Mm-hmm.
so they're gonna know why. I'm gonna be like,
Oh, man.
bruh, you have to do this because bam, 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 bam.
I don't want to like make fun of you, but I feel like people are gonna be afraid to ask you questions sometimes. Do you ever feel like that?
Huh? Maybe I
Because
would say this.
let me wait before you start. I'll just give people insight to our friendship. Let's say I ask MK like, how would you make?
You can call me Mino.
Okay,
It's cool.
how would you make a grilled cheese sandwich? I expect him to tell me, butter, bread, cheese, butter inside maybe bread and butter. He wants to tell me how they make the bread. What's the best bread to use? I'm like, ask what the recipe.
Okay. Partially true there. Partially true.
Oh
I
man.
would not tell you how to make the bread, but I might tell you which is the best bread to use and why. The
And
best
that would,
butter to
and that would
use.
go into how they make the bread.
Maybe you might be right. You might be right. This is the best bread. Why? Well, yeah, I think I would. I think
Exactly. So, do you feel like your kids will be apprehensive to ask you certain questions because of your over explanations?
I think it might be a mix
Mm,
because I'm also like a person who no topic is taboo for me.
mhm,
Like I don't get grossed out. Like if my mom kissing somebody or whatever, I'm like, okay, that's good. I want to see my mom should being loved on and showing love or whatever. Like I want to
mhm.
see that. Not that I want to see it, but like I don't care.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's natural. So for me, like even talking to my kids, I think like me talking about things in a matter of frank way and treating them, not treating them like a child. But I would treat them like a child, but in terms of explaining things to them, I'm not gonna be like dumbing it down because you're a kid. I'm
Mhm,
just gonna tell you what it is. I think because of that, my child might feel more comfortable talking to me about things because they know that I won't judge them and I would freely talk about it. Um, unless, of course, they think it's something that I would not be proud of. Like, for instance, if they're doing drugs, they might not want
mhm,
to come to me about that because I would not condone that.
mhm,
But I think they might pick and choose what to come to me about. They
okay.
might feel like, well, I don't want to go to dad about this. I might go to mom because I know dad's gonna sit me down and talk to me for a full hour about what's the best way to clean
Yeah.
or something like that.
Mhm. I understand. Well, when my son wanted to learn about sex education, his mom was all like squeamish. She didn't know what to do because she didn't know how to approach it. So I was like, you know what mating is? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, that's it. And then that was it. Conversation was done. Because, well, that's again case by case. Because I know he likes Animal Kingdom. He likes watching stuff like that. So he already knew what that was, what the purpose was. So there, boom, boom. But it's case by case.
Yeah. You see how succinct he was? I can't do that. You know what mating is? Yeah. Well, there you go. Now you know how it works.
Yeah.
I gonna sit down. I'm gonna be like, okay,
Oh my
now
gosh.
there's sperm, there's eggs,
Oh.
and there's a gametes, zygotes. I gonna
All
go into.
no, they're 9.
I don't care. I can open up the textbook. Here, come here. Let's read this chapter.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm
Mm,
probably going to have a bunch of textbooks around my house
that's a good idea.
because I know when I was a kid, I used to like reading the encyclopedia.
Me too.
So I'm hoping that my kid likes reading like these high level things
Mhm.
for fun.
I was just very curious. And my mom got me the children encyclopedia, and I'll just read them. So we stopped halfway into our discussion. We're gonna go into Afrocentric and what I found on Afrocentric. In pre-African slavery, hair was seen as something of pride. Prior to European involvement on beauty standards, kinky hair was seen as a blessing. Intricate styling through hair, braids, and twists were worn as signs of status and beauty. In West Africa, in particular, Hairstyle was used as a form of non-verbal communication. The more intricate a style of braiding was, specifically in regards to the use of objects such as straw, and particularly in the Gold Coast, Ghana, weaving hair with golden strands of yarn showed signs of royalty and high status. Hair was also used as a means of showing one's position. If someone was in mourning or were a fisherman, hairstyles were worn in variations as such. That's deep.
Yo, I feel like here, black woman hair is still whatever they just said. I kind of forgot half of what you said, but
It's
I
okay.
still think it is because
So
I love natural hair.
So what we're both gonna do right now is rewind ourselves back to the beginning of the podcast and include hair into our attraction parameters. Because we didn't mention it at all.
I don't care about hair, like in terms of like picking somebody beauty. I love hair in its natural form, but I don't use it to decide if a person is beautiful or not.
I think I do. I think I have to decide between somebody with natural hair versus somebody with unnatural hair. I'd more than likely pick the natural hair 9 out of 10 times.
Oh, I think what I meant to say is like a lot of people are obsessed with like long hair and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I could date a woman who's completely bald, like
Oh
completely
yeah,
shaved.
I've done
Like
that
that's what
too.
I mean when I say
Yeah.
hair. But in terms of like natural versus perm, it depends. Some women have permed hair and it looks really nice,
Hmm.
and some women have permed hair and then they have the struggle bun, and it's like, bruh, just go natural. If you're gonna struggle bun it, at least stay natural. Like, why you doubling down on the ugly? Like, what's going on? You know
You
what I'm saying?
wild, you wild.
Your hair can't fit in a scrunchie. You gotta use a rubber
Oh
band. Like, come
man.
on, stop it.
Mm-mm. Okay. Um, there's also a lot more on Afrocentric because I feel like I should look into more into Afrocentric because I don't really see it as much. Um, so this one has to do with Pan-African studies. That is the reason such a woman who was given an inner beauty, Uyai is sit idem, but lack an exterior beauty, Uyai akap iso, would pad up her beauty with accessories and oils in order to appear to have a complete beauty. So it's saying in Africa that beauty is not just about what's on the outside, but what's on the outside trumps what's on the inside.
Hmm, I see. Interesting. So I guess Africa has a more holistic approach to beauty.
Mhm.
Although I think that's true, yeah. I think generally speaking, well, I think for me it's the reverse.
Mhm.
But I think generally speaking, a person's beauty, like someone could be like a 10 on a scale, right? Like, man, that girl have all the check boxes.
Mhm.
But then her personality is just trash. And then she drops to like a 2 because it's like,
Yep, that's fair.
so. And I think that's even more true for men as in terms of women picking a guy.
Yeah.
He could be the hottest guy, but if he's a D star K,
Mhm.
then you're probably not going to want to interact with him
Well,
unless
that
you're really shallow.
depends. That
Unless you're
depends.
really shallow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends, as you said.
I find in that there's a lot of things that are very subjective and also very vague. But I like that we are at least trying to break down like why don't we see this? Like in the videos we watch to try and find content, it was hard to find a mix of, everybody together and let's actually rank beauty. Even though that's kind of objectifying, it's sometimes fun to do that. And Idris Elba was the only black guy on that list. And I feel like there's more people who could be there, but I guess they're not celebrities or well known. But even so, he was the only one out of 20. That's 5%. That's not good.
Yo, I would say most black actors are really good looking. Like, what are they talking about?
Hmm.
Like, they missed Will Smith. They missed Denzel Washington.
Hmm.
Like,
And
that's the only
Denzel,
two.
Denzel isn't all, he not all that, but mix his acting with his looks and his
His
personality, and
personality.
yeah, and then there you go.
Yeah, I think his personality is a big part of why he's attractive.
Yes, it's
Um,
just
even Bozeman, what his first name was again?
Chadwick.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy too. Like, come
Mhm.
on, are you trolling?
Like, how does Tom Holland get there? Like, he still looks like he's in high school. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's just some.
and it just goes to show you the Afrocentric versus Eurocentric look, and that we can even dive deeper and talk about finding a job. If I go to find a job looking like this, with my locks, come here somebody who doesn't have locks, they might get a job more than me, and that's just because of the stigma that's with certain hairstyles and certain looks.
Bruh, I could go on a diatribe about that
I know. So let's not
because
let's not go too deep.
no, I have to talk about this just for two
See
seconds.
what I mean?
My 2 seconds gonna be more than 2 seconds, but you know, even today,
Mm-hmm.
a woman can't just wear her hair as it is, just growing out of her head,
Mm-hmm.
without them saying, "Oh, you look unkept. You look like you need to go do something with your hair." It's like, bruh, you see all these Anglo American women walking around. They ain't even comb their hair this morning. Their hair just flowing down the back. I doing the exact same thing. I getting sent home because I ain't adhering to dress code. Are you serious? Like that's man, that's man. I gonna mute myself because I about to.
Wow, wow. Hey, we're passionate. We're very passionate here, but it makes sense. And you read the stories and you're like, this can't be true, but like, it happens. You've seen it happen. You've heard about it. It's like, what's the big deal? It's like the whole company. It's not even like the person hiring you. It's like the whole company is pushing towards this narrative of everybody looking a certain way. And I feel like as a customer, well, I can't speak for myself as a different race, but as a black person, as a customer, I would go towards a more natural looking establishment than one that's not. If I could see like everybody that's involved.
Well, I will say this though. We are slowly, like, dude, this world is slowly like snail's pace crawling
Mm-hmm.
towards being more accepting of people as they naturally present themselves.
Yeah.
Like I think even recently I saw I think Kev on stage posted on Instagram mannequins with a
Mm-hmm.
dad bod. And I was
Mm,
like, what? They even have dad bod mannequins now? It's not just like perfect body types.
yeah.
Well, quote unquote perfect because so I don't know. I feel like the world slowly, even like nowadays, locks and stuff used to have a big negative stereotype back in the days,
Mm,
and now it's more accepted.
yeah.
But what I don't like is that things become more accepted once like a white person does it.
Yeah.
Like when white people start wearing locks, it's like, oh no, black people could do it. It's like, bruh,
Yeah.
what's next? When they start dyeing their skin black, now I could be black. Like, what's going on? Like, but
Uh,
anyway, let's move on.
All right, then let's go. So now we're gonna rate ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10. No sevens allowed.
Yeah, we're doing the what that guy name is Samuel, Kevin
Kevin
Samuels.
Samuels. Yeah.
We're doing the Kevin Samuels to ourselves, basically.
Mm. So you
You
want
can
me to
go
go first?
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say between an 8 or a 9. It's me. Okay, it's me.
Okay. I feel that. I feel that. Um, keep going. You have any other things to say?
Well, it's a two-part question. It says, when do you feel like you're the hottest, or when you feel like you look the best? So I know for sure if I'm wearing a new outfit, new shoes, my hair is freshly done, and my beard is freshly shaped up at the same time, I get the most compliments ever. And it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's about it.
Vibe. So I rate myself between a 5 and a 6.
Wait, what are you doing? Golly.
So let me just comment on this, right?
Uh-huh.
I think that I'm a average to above average looking guy. Um, but I think when I actually try though,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a 9 or a 10.
Mm-hmm.
When I actually try, I think I am up there with some of the hottest looking guys, personally,
Yeah.
because I'd be looking at myself in some photos, I'd be like, bro, you looking damn good, bro. Like, golly, if I was a girl.
Mm,
But yeah, I think I look good when I actually try.
yeah.
But I think on like a regular, just day to day,
Mm-hmm.
I just look average, above average.
Mm. I'm starting to think about like our perception of ourselves versus everybody else. It's like, does everybody see us as like sevens or sixes, or do they actually see us as nines? But like the other nines are out there are like the real nines. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I do think that a lot of your judgment about yourself has to come from the outside because, but I don't know. It depends on how self-aware you are.
Mm,
I think some people are more self-aware than others, so they can judge themselves more objectively, whereas other people aren't very objective when it comes to themselves. They overinflate, over exaggerate.
gotcha, gotcha. Um, what are your top five features?
Oh, I didn't answer when I feel like I'm the hottest.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think when I wear a suit or like a button up like this, when I'm like well shaved and stuff, just basically like you, like when I actually have myself put together. But beyond that, whenever I wear my contacts, I don't feel like, yeah, I looking good with my contacts in.
So you feel like
Uh,
glasses are like a minus points?
yeah, glasses definitely minus points. Like I feel like I look way better with glasses off,
Mm,
especially when I take in pictures and stuff. Like if I take a picture of my glasses on and take a picture of my glasses off,
mhm.
I look way better in the one with the glasses off.
I feel like that's been changing though in like society. Because even in college, people that were wearing glasses, they were like, "Oh, these are fake." No, don't. You can see. Don't insult me like this just to look good. Take it off. I have to wear these.
Well, they used to wear it to look smart. So I think with glasses on, I look smart.
Mm.
With glasses off, I look like a model. You know what I mean?
So,
I
would you
think
rather
also.
go
Go
ahead?
ahead.
Would you rather look smart or look attractive?
To be honest, I don't care. That's part of the problem. That's why I'm a 5 or a 6. Cause I don't care. Like I don't care how I look.
Oh man. All right,
If
go
you
ahead.
like me, you like me. If you don't like me, then oh well. Like that's all good. I
Golly.
only have one woman I worry about in my life. So, but also I think like I look really good when I'm dancing,
Mm,
especially when I'm dancing with somebody else.
mhm.
Like that's when I don't feel like yo, all eyes on me. Like I know I looking good right now.
Okay, okay.
And usually I'm dancing with my contacts in, so that might be part of it too.
Mm, okay. What are your top five features?
So this one I wasn't sure. Like it was kind of vague. So I did two different ones. I did my top five that I like to see on women, and then I did my top five I like to see on myself.
Okay.
So obviously I said eyes already in the beginning. I like specifically like almond shaped eyes. I don't really care about eye color, um, but I like to see eyes. That's the first thing I always notice when I look at a woman, especially one that I'm attracted to.
Mm,
And then the next thing I notice are their lips and their teeth. Then after that will probably be their butt and their hips, then legs, and then lastly, how they smell.
mm.
If we get to that part, like I'm big on smells. Like you know this about me. Like that's my favorite sense. Like of the five senses, or actually it's more than five.
Yeah,
But if we just talk about the classic five senses,
yeah.
smell is my favorite one of them all.
Okay.
And then on me, I think I have a really nice butt. Everybody I've ever dated always said it like my butt. Um, then I think my eyes, my lips, and then I think I have really nice hands and feet,
Hmm. Okay,
like actual nice looking feet. Like I know people, they take off their shoes, they have their sandals on, but they've been kicking rocks barefoot. So for me, I actually have really good looking feet. I never get pedicures and all that stuff. My foot still look nice.
okay. So I guess my top five that I look for have to hair, uh, upper body proportion, smile, the people that you're around. I know it's not really a feature, but it's an attribute. And then it depends. If you're at a bar, I want to know what you're drinking and why. I don't know why that's important, but it's there.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's something I would never think about. Like, what are you drinking and why? Like, that's
Yeah.
that's a good conversation starter too.
hmm And then myself, mysteriousness, charm, intellect, duty to others, and I couldn't think of a fifth one, so I picked versatility.
I like your list. So I was thinking about physical features, but I should probably put more other features in there
Yeah.
because
So
intelligence, I think, is also a big thing for me as well. Like most of the women that I've found myself attracted to have been really intelligent, and I really think like, yeah, if I can't have a conversation with you without cringing or like without being like in my head like this person is dumb, then I can't. How am I gonna find you attractive? Like for real, work.
that's true. Like I've I don't have anything physical here, and I miss my smile, which people love all the time. But that's why I feel like I'm an eight or a nine based on the things about me, not about how I look. So, but I don't feel like I look bad either. But I don't look fantastic either as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you that's the thing too about these scales. Like it could be based on looks, it
hmm
could be based on non-physical attributes. You know, there's so many things you could base a list on. That's why I feel like beauty is just more than just how someone looks. It has to be because I mean, a lot of guys, especially when you're younger, you know, and you're like, hey, what you rate that person? What you rate that person? I think we mostly just look at looks, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's a lot more than that. Especially when you start getting older, I think you start to realize that more and more.
I think we could come back to that top thought after we finish the last one that says, what are three things you think will make you more attractive?
Huh. Uh, my list is very short. Top of the list is to actually start caring
Mm,
about my appearance. If I actually cared more and actually like try to dress up, try to always be well groomed, um, I think I would look more attractive. Obviously, I would be a 10 at all times. I put dress up more, like in
mm,
terms of like wearing suits. Like
mm.
I always like to see when men just wear suits to go like pick up groceries. Like I'm like, damn, that I should do that. Like
It's
that's
not
cool.
it's not practical, but okay.
It's not practical, but he looked good. They say that suits are the lingerie for men.
But is
You
he
know what I mean?
going just to groceries or you coming from somewhere else?
Who knows? That's the mystery. That's why if a woman see you out in a suit, she's like, I wonder where he just come from.
Mm.
You know,
Okay,
is he
okay.
coming from like a business meeting? Like, is he like, like they gonna be like thinking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then the last one is to cut my hair more often.
Mm.
My wife constantly complains about that. She's like, cut your hair, go to the barber, go to the barber. And I'm always like, dude, I have a machine. I cut my own hair,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just cut my own hair. But I know she really loves it when I actually go to the barber and have them shape me up and do all that stuff. That's when she is the like, Fian, you look like how you be looking at your photos right now.
Gotcha.
You know?
Mm. And that's just her personal preference is to have shorter hair.
Yeah. I personally like shorter hair myself too. I tried growing my hair out
I know.
and it was too hot, man. I couldn't. It's too much. I don't. And then, as I said, like I don't care about how I look, so like I don't take care of it. It's just growing out my head. Like I
Yeah.
don't comb it, I don't wash it. It's just there.
Mm.
So even just for hygienic reasons, cutting my hair is better. Like I wash my hair more often when it's cut, surprisingly,
Yeah.
which is weird. It should be washed more when it's longer.
Well, you can't wash it too much either, but that's a different story.
I think for black people, you have to wash your hair once a week, right?
I don't know. All I know is
That's,
I read that lice like clean hair, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
oh, really?
Yeah, they can move around more freely and think. I'm not sure. I don't want to make it a fact, but I've heard and or read this, which is weird.
Yeah, that is weird, but I guess it makes sense. It's used to move around. But or it could be racism because it could actually be that they like hair that's straight because it's easier to move around in,
Mm,
and curlier hair is harder to move around in.
mm,
But then, they, instead of just saying straight versus curly, they did clean versus dirty because of racism.
mm.
So I don't know.
So you mentioned that as you get older, you realize that looks aren't as important. It made me think of a conversation that we had before about if you were to, let's say, change your partners and you found somebody that you thought was better, younger people will be like, okay, well, they look better or they're more attractive. I'm just gonna jump into this thing here. But as an older person, you realize, well, yeah, they may be more attractive, but do they clean? Do they cook? Like, there's things that you need from a partner over time that change just more than just looks.
Yeah, how well do they handle money? How well do they take care of themselves in terms of health? Like, yeah, those are important things.
Yeah, that 20/80 thing, yeah, the 20 they're giving you is good, but are they even giving you 80 at all? You could just get a 20 and that's it. So,
My uncle actually shared a video with me recently,
mhm,
and the video was basically a guy saying that pick somebody that you like over somebody that you love. Because you might love somebody, but you might not actually like them.
mm,
And that was kind of deep because, like, love somebody that you don't actually like. And then I was like, oh, yeah, family members. I have a bunch of family members I love, but I don't like.
mm.
But I can't imagine marrying somebody that you love, but you don't like. Like, I can't even imagine you get into the love part without liking them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could be blinded by love. That you love them so much you forget that, you have to like them as well. And then when you look around, it's too late. It's already years later, and now you're stuck with this thing. Bernancy says, don't cut your hair too often because as you age, it thins out. You also don't want to cut it too often if baldness runs in your family.
I didn't know that. I don't think baldness runs. Well, I don't know. At least on my dad's side, I haven't really seen any balding.
Hmm.
And on my mom's side, I don't think I've seen much of it. But I will keep that in mind, though. That's good.
Yeah. I've always loved hair, period. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I went to a Christian school where your hair couldn't touch your collar. And that was like the worst time of my life because I was really getting into liking my hair and appreciating me for who I was. I always felt like I was more me when I had hair. So every summer when school was out, like the month before, I would start growing my hair. And during the summer, I'd have my hair braided, singles, whatever. And then when school started, I used to cry every time I cut my hair. That's how much I love my hair. So I couldn't wait to graduate and just be free.
Wow, that's intense. I do think you look better with hair, too. Like, actually, I will say this. You look good both ways.
I know.
Like, I
It's me.
listen to this neighbor right here. But I've seen you with your hair cut. The only thing I don't think you look good is when you cut your beard and
Yeah,
your
yeah. Oh, we
mustache.
didn't talk about that. Oh,
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that because I
that.
can't say what I said
I mean,
on
it's
stream.
out there in the world, in the universe. If you could find it, good luck. But There was this one time I was trying to impress a girl. I cut everything off. No, not again. Are you
Not worth it.
sick? You have cancer? Wait, what? No, dude. People
Jeez.
were wilding on me.
You have
Never,
cancer?
never again.
They were going in.
They- I look bad.
Oh man,
But you
bro.
see, most people like a guy with nothing at all on their face.
Yeah. I actually remember talking to a girl who said that. Like she liked guys with nothing there. And I'm like, why? Like that don't look good. I don't like to see any man with nothing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'm straight, so I don't like to see. I guess I might be biased. Maybe if I was gay, I would like it. I don't know, but I don't like to see men with no hair. I feel like it look weird.
And even then, you have to know what beard style to use. You don't want to look like the creep in the van with your beard. Like you gotta know your
Yeah,
face. You gotta know your face, man.
you can't just have a mustache and nothing else. That looks weird. That reminds me of this episode in The Office
Yeah.
where he was like, "Smile if you like prostates," and then he had the like, I was like this.
But it depends on the face too, because some people do pull it off and you just never think about it.
It's rare though. I feel
Yeah. I think
it's
my
rare.
problem was that I always had a big beard, and then one day it was just nothing. So that was like a drastic change. Maybe if I did like goatees only, and then I took this out, they'd be like, "Oh, you cut off your mustache." But like when you cut off the whole thing that's too drastic.
Yeah, it was a binge. I couldn't even recognize you to be honest. Like I think you came up to me and I was like, "Who is this?" Like you knew? Like you just transferred to the school or what going on?
Oh, okay. But it makes you look older slash younger depending on your beard too. So I was just thinking the other day, I'm gonna start cutting off like all of this and just leaving the goatee to get like a younger feel. Because somebody told me I look 26. Thank you.
Yeah, cutting off your beard definitely makes you look younger.
Yeah.
When I cut mine off, I definitely look younger. But I don't want to look young.
Mm,
So
yeah.
plus my wife don't like it when I cut my beard, so
So
that's the only opinion that
she
matters.
like
So
bald men with big beards.
yeah,
That's
literally.
that's a thing too.
Yeah, she does like that. She's like, I can't wait till you. She's like, if you ever start balding, just cut all your hair off. I think you'll look good. I was like,
These subliminal messages. Wow.
yeah, it's cool though. I like it. I think the great thing about being married
Mm.
is having somebody who's always gonna be like wanting to like be on you. Like you look good, blah, blah, blah. Like always telling you compliments and stuff.
Mm.
Like, bro, I don't have to go out in the streets. I got somebody right here.
I guess so. Is there anything you want to add from the overall conversation?
Overall, I would say yes. Some people are actually ugly.
Why are you,
wait,
why
wait.
you why you even lead with that?
Well, the reason why is because I feel like we live in a world now where everybody think they could be a winner. We can't all be winners, okay? So
Uh,
that's why I started off with that.
okay, coach.
But yes, there are people who are definitely ugly. But I think even with like not looking physically the best,
Mhm.
you could have other attributes about yourself that could make you stand out and make you attractive.
Yeah.
So I think my parting from this is that everybody on the planet has something about them that is beautiful, regardless of how they look.
Mhm.
And I think people need to remember that and not try so hard. I mean, yes, you should try. You should try to look good, but you don't have to do it to the point where it becomes a detriment to your mental health or something like
I think I agree, and I want to echo that as well. I feel like everybody has something to bring to the table, and there are people that don't. You know, And there are people that are gonna be in the gym all the time, all day, every day, trying to be fit, and people that are not gonna do it. Whatever you choose to do with your life and your body is up to you. Don't let the world and society and people tell you who you should be, what you should be, or what you should look like. Because at the end of the day, you go home to you. Even if you're married or with somebody, you still go home to yourself. When you're in the mirror in the morning and at night, you see yourself and you have to love what you see. So until you can do that, I don't think it's gonna be hard to accept yourself in people's eyes as well. Because they're gonna see you as beautiful, but you won't see yourself as beautiful.
Which remind that actually, I feel like we should go down a rabbit hole on this a little bit too, because what you just said put into my mind the idea of body dysmorphia.
Mhm.
People who like are skinny but then they feel fat,
Yeah.
or people who are fat but then they feel like they look good, and everybody should accept their body. So maybe that's another topic for a different podcast. But I do think that
Yeah. I think it'll go into the ones about you know, body issues. We could talk about it then.
all right, I think that would be a good topic because I think even I myself have some body dysmorphia,
Mhm.
and then we should probably talk about health. But maybe let's talk about this offline because I do think that in terms of like being okay with your body, I think that to a point that's okay. Because if you're not if you're not trying to be healthy or do healthy things, I don't think you should be okay with your body. Like, no, go exercise, go eat healthier. Like, you eating McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and sitting on your couch all day, and you expect someone else to love your body. Like, you don't even love your own body.
Yeah.
Like, and you might feel to yourself that you're attractive, but I mean, self delusion is that's kind of like what I was saying earlier, where some people just aren't very good at like being self aware.
Mhm.
But I do agree with you though. I didn't want. I should have never said anything. I should wait till we were done.
I didn't talk about my three things that'll make me more attractive. Height.
But you don't say he's the best looking guy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I'm not tall. I'm short. I'm only 5'9".
I know you memeing. I know you memeing.
I am
I
five
know.
nine, but I'm short, man.
No, I know you memeing
I,
because we watched a video last night. So, audience, we watched a video last night, right? This girl, she's 5'3", talking about how she don't date short guys. So the guy asked her, oh, they was on an e-date. So the guy asked her, well, what's short? Because I'm 5'9". She's like, yeah, you're short. Anything below 6 feet is short.
no, since she said 5'10", or did
Oh,
she
I'm
say
below
6?
5'10".
Yeah.
So maybe she was just trolling him. I don't know. But
So she like, well, you're on the cusp. I was like, man. So height,
that's wild.
money, and complexion. I feel like I have like a like. See, like, look at this. This is light and this is dark. I don't like that about me. I want to be the
Is that from
same.
just being in the sun?
It's been all my life, so I don't even know.
Hmm. I would say be careful about the complexion part. I know what you're saying. Like you talk about the two tone stuff, not
Hmm.
necessarily like you want lighter skin.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of black people who do want to be lighter skinned because of colorism.
Hmm.
But oh
Okay.
no, I read in
Oh,
chat.
look what you started.
Oh no.
You gotta read it because this is your thing that you created.
Okay, I go on. So on Twitch, our one viewer, thank you by the way, thank you so much for supporting. Some are so ugly that the ugliness makes you laugh. So their ugliness is okay. Wait. What the wait a second here. This pause is so ugly. I have to chuckle. You cool peeps. You ugly. So every time I see you, I have a brightens my day. What?
Oh, you're ugly. Knee slapping.
Oh,
Oh.
shit. Thanks for being a walking meme.
Oh.
Oh man. Oh, I can't even read the rest. I cannot.
And those that are just ugly, you can find other things about them that is beautiful.
Bruh, I ain't exercising in a while. My abs just get exercise. That was crazy.
What if I could change
Word.
one thing from my list? I would change the complexion thing to abs. I always wanted to have abs.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to wipe my eyes, tears, and everything. Whew. That was a good one, chat. That was a good one. Shit. I don't know what to say anymore.
We can end it there on a good note.
Anyway,
We
hey,
will
thanks for
see you
coming on.
guys in 2 weeks. We have a guest. He goes by UU Gamer Show now. He's a professional gamer, streamer, and a good guy all around. So in 2 weeks he'll be here to talk about whatever he wants to talk about with us and us with him. This has been oh, you go ahead.
Oh, I ain't got nothing, man. Take it away, producer.
This has been Rabbit Hole Roundtable Talks. Behold in beauty. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace.